What's up, kings and queens? It's your boy Dan from Dark Previews. Got 2 games of the WNBA on. I've got quite a few insights, a couple of props that I'm thinking about. I'm going to take you through those today. If that sounds interesting, let's go.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to you live from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice and the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.
Jumping into Props Madness, the best tool you're going to find. If you like betting on player props, you'll get a 7-day free trial. Plus, you get a juicy discount when you use the code DARF when you sign up. Now, we've got 2 games. I've had a quick look over the slate, and I've got a short list of players that I love. I'm just not sure how I'm going to bet it yet. As you know, I like value plays, taking players at higher odds, alternate lines, to get more profit ultimately. So I'm just looking at the slate, figuring out how I play these, but I'll give you the initial looks, then it's up to you what you choose to decide to do with it. Let me take you through each game. We've got the Lynx versus the Sky. Now, these guys just played each other 2 days ago, so it's similar to like a playoff type game in a sense that you would expect these teams to make adjustments. So what my strategy has been in this particular game, I watched all the film from the previous game, analyzed all the box scores and stuff, and pretty much thought to myself, do the girls that performed well, do I expect them to continue? Were there players that didn't perform well that I expect to make a jump? So I've got a couple of different looks here, and we'll talk through it. So the first one, we'll go through all the Lynx players. Looking at Nafisa Collier, first and foremost, this 21.5 points line still seems quite low. She's averaging 23 points per game this season. She scored 26 against the Sky when they most recently played. She was 9 from 18 from the field. A pretty decent game for Nafisa Collier. Now, I can't help but lean to the over on this one, the over 21.5 points. My thought process is this. After looking at all the film in that last game, we saw the Sky very happy to let Nafisa Collier play one-on-one with Angel Reese. The only time they doubled was whenever she had a mismatch within the pick and roll sets. But for the most part, a lot of single coverage. Nafisa Collier had a lot of nice looks. She actually missed a lot of easy ones. Maybe that's the WNBA, but I think the 21.5, I think it's relatively quite low. I think she can definitely go above that. In terms of her assists, now she did have a strong assist game against the Sky. 5 assists in that particular game. I'm a little bit cautious in betting the over in assists here for Nafisa Collier. My thought process being like Kayla McBride shot an insane amount of 3-pointers at a pretty high clip. And like there's an opportunity for Alana Smith to shoot better, but it wasn't Nafisa Collier feeding her the ball anyway. So I think Nafisa Collier relies heavily on Kayla McBride and Courtney Williams to get buckets. I don't think Kayla McBride's going to be that hot from deep in this one like she was in the last game. So Nafisa Collier's assists, I'm a little bit hesitant on pulling the trigger on, but the points, I definitely like the over in her points. The other player that I like from the Lynx to bounce back here is Alana Smith. Now, you could look at over 9.5 points or over 1.5 3-pointers. 1.5 3-pointers plus 160 at the moment. Insane odds there for Alana Smith to go over. Or you can just look at the over 9.5 points at minus 110. She scored 8 points in that last game against the Sky. She was 4 from 10 in that game, but she missed all 6 3-pointers. Now, I like the look here for Alana Smith purely because she gets the Cardoso matchup. Cardoso is not going to defend the perimeter. So Alana Smith really found herself wide open from deep for a lot of these looks. I'd say 4 out of the 6 looks, she was completely wide open. She just happened to miss every single one of them. I don't think the Sky changed the defensive scheme too much in this particular one. They'll dare Alana Smith to shoot, and I think she can make them pay. She's got the pace advantage, so when it comes to scoring points, she can get out and run. She'll outrun Cardoso, but in the half court, I think she'll definitely let it fly in terms of 3-pointers. She also had some success running the pick and roll sets with Courtney Williams as well. So Alana Smith, I like her to score points. I'm not sure whether I take 10, 15 points, whether I take the 2 and 3-pointers, but something around Alana Smith I can find myself betting on here. It's a nice bounce back spot for her. She shot really poor despite getting some good looks. The other one I'm looking at here is Courtney Williams. Now, Courtney Williams in that last game finished with 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. I particularly, for this one, like her points and I like her rebounds, even though she had a really strong passing game with the 8 assists. I'm a little bit hesitant to bet that. And my thought process is this after watching the film. Courtney Williams had 8 assists. She had like 6 or 7 assists at halftime. She finished with 8 assists like halfway through the third quarter. Didn't get a single assist after that. And basically what we saw late in that game when Minnesota started to take a run was Courtney Williams being very aggressive and really taking more shots and shooting the ball. She took 9 shots in that second half. I think 6 or 7 of them in the fourth quarter. She finished the game with 15 shots. So in that second half, when the Minnesota Lynx really started to claw it back, it was off the back of Courtney Williams being more aggressive, scoring the ball, taking advantage of Rachel Benham defensively, and just attacking her all night long. So Courtney Williams, I like her to score more points. I did bet her under 14.5 points in this game. Now we've seen the line drop to 13.5. I'm looking to bet the over on Courtney Williams. So I like her to score today. I also like her to get some rebounds as well. The rebounds are a decent look. Her rebound line's quite high at 5.5. She's only averaging 5 boards this season, but she's had 2 games against the Sky with 8+ rebounds. And the whole reason for this is that she's defending low usage players. She's not defending Ariel Atkins. She's definitely not going to be in any of the bigs. She typically finds herself on like a Rebecca Allen, maybe a Rachel Benham. Like low usage players is who Courtney Williams is picking up on the weak side, and she's getting a whole lot of defensive rebounds. Alana Smith, for example, not looking to get rebounds. She's really focused on trying to box out, even though Cardoso is killing her in there. It opens things up for Courtney Williams to get some boards. So her points, her rebounds, her points plus rebounds, I'm going to do something around that with Courtney Williams, so I do like that. And looking at the Chicago Sky, we had 3 players play. Ariel Atkins, Angel Reese, and Cardoso all played even Rachel Banner. They all played very well in that last game. Ariel Atkins was the standout. She had 27 points. She took 21 shots in that last game. The line's only at 14.5, and I'm still not willing to bet the over here. So Ariel Atkins made 9 out of her first 11 shots in this game. Like she started the game on fire. She was taking a lot of mid-ranges, a lot of tough floaters, a lot of tough shots, and she was making them. So of course she was going to keep chucking them up. Late in that game, I think she missed She missed a lot in the second half. I think she missed 9 shots in the second half. In the game, she missed 9 shots in the game. So she missed 7 shots in the second half, only 2 in the first half. So she went cold late. She was taking a lot of tough shots anyway, which is why the Minnesota Lynx were living with her taking them. I don't know if she's going to have the same efficiency in this one. So I'm a little bit hesitant to bet anything around Ariel Atkins. Angel Reese, I do like her to score some points here. Definitely improved as of late. And it's volume, but it's also percentages. Cardoso's come back, and she's just shooting a much better percentage. So Angel Reese to score some points. I do like that as well. But the one I like for the most for the Sky is Cardoso to get some boards. Now, she had a season-high 15 rebounds against the Lynx in that last game. Makes sense. It's a great matchup for the Lynx. They give up a lot of offensive rebounds. And Cardoso, even though she's not the rebounder that Angel Reese is, Angel Reese has to deal with Nafisa Collier, which is a much more difficult assignment, whereas Cardoso has the clear size advantage here on Alana Smith. Dominated the offensive rebounds in that last game with 6 offensive boards, 9 defensive rebounds. I spoke about why Alana Smith is being left wide open the whole time, and that's because Cardoso, she's just heading back to the rim to get some rebounds. So I think the main risk here for Cardoso and her boards is a Minnesota Lynx blowout, or Alana Smith shoots the lights out from 3, which forces Cardoso to defend the perimeter a bit more. But in the general flow of the game, I do like this look here for Camila Cardoso to get some boards. Line's at 7.5. I do like her over. I'll potentially play a double-double there on Cardoso. So that's all I've got in this particular game. Then we have the Mercury versus the Valkyries. The Mercury still without a couple of their stars. Copper, Sar2, they're still out. Up against the Valkyries, pretty much full strength now. And there's 3 different looks I have here. The first one is for the Valkyries. And I'm looking at Temi Fag-Benley, looking at her rebounds. Now, her rebound line's at 5.5 at plus money. Hasn't been rebounding extremely well or consistently, but she put out 11 rebounds against the Mercury earlier this season, and the Mercury actually allow the most rebounds to centers in the league. We can see here 4 out of the last 5 centers covered their rebound line as well. She pulled down 11 rebounds, the second most she's had all season, and a lot of this was on the offensive end. Now, partly to this is the Mercury kind of lack size and talent in their front court, especially at the center position. They do have Natasha Mack, though. Natasha Mack is back, so that probably makes it a little bit more difficult for Temi. Kaylani Brown off the bench has size, but not the mobility that Fag-Benley has. Fag-Benley getting a lot of these offensive rebounds, not directly under the basket. These are long rebounds. She's winning a lot of the tips. She's hustling hard to get them. So there could be some value here on betting the boards. Now, I for one, I'm not going to bet 5.5 rebounds. I'm likely going to bet her for 7 and 10 if I do happen to take this bet. I just got to look at and think about the Natasha Mack impact. but I still think there's some opportunity here for Temi Fagbenle. I like her to get some rebounds. The next one here is for Alyssa Thomas. Looking at her assists now. So she only had 5 assists against the Lynx because she took over 20 shots, just scored all over them. Tough matchup for assists. Whereas the Valkyries, it's an easier matchup for assists, but a much better matchup based on how Alyssa Thomas gets her assists. So Alyssa Thomas, yeah, she can dump the ball down low for bigs to get buckets, which I think is going to be very difficult for her. But the Valkyrie, they give up a ton of assists to three-pointers. They allow so many three-pointers because they don't allow anything in the paint. Fewest points in the paint in the league. This Mercury team takes a lot of threes. Alyssa Thomas, usually the one who's passing it to a lot of these three-point shooters. So I like her ability to create for others in this particular one. I think every time she drives, the defense is going to collapse. I think the shooters are going to have some good looks here. So I'm thinking about playing something on her assists. But the other option I'm looking at here is Sammy Whitcomb. Looking at running a three-point ladder. So she just had that 36-point explosion against the Dallas Wings, 7 from 11 from 3. Then she ran into the Minnesota Lynx and she was 0 from 3. A much more difficult matchup. Obviously, Alyssa Thomas wasn't passing the ball too much. She was scoring on her own. So Sammy didn't see the same opportunities. Now she's up against the Valkyrie. She's got a great matchup. The Valkyrie allowed the 3rd most points above the break. They allowed a lot of three-point attempts. They're not great at defending spot-up shooters either. Sammy Whitcomb could explode in this one. So for me, I'm liking the three-pointers here. Over 2.5 three-pointers is at plus money. If I take this for 4, like I'm pretty sure I will, they're probably going to get some pretty insane odds. So, but they're the main things that caught my attention. I'm sure there's more value out there, but they're the main things that stood out to me. I'm going to deep dive these a little bit later to figure out how I want to play this, but we shall see. But I appreciate you guys if you did watch this video and made it this far as well. Over the next 3 weeks, it's going to be very difficult for me to get content out on a consistent basis. As you may or may not know, my wife is still recovering post-op, and my mother-in-law is not here to help us out anymore. So it's just me going back to doing everything I can around here. So it might be difficult, but I did find a 20-minute slot this afternoon to try to to put this video together. So hopefully you guys appreciate it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Best of luck to us, man. I know I've said this many times before, but I think the WNBA is starting to swing. But that could be because I just had a winning day. But let's see. Hopefully we can maintain this and finish this season off strong. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hope you guys cash out on this wonderful day. Peace.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to your line from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice on the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.